Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I thought I would jump on this live because I'm cleaning and choosing beads, and I've gone on my walk. You can see I'm still in my, these are my workout clothes. This is it. Bed hair, all of it. Still coffee. It's all realness right here. So, I thought I would give you a little peek behind the scenes because I know a lot of you folks like tips on A, choosing beads for a project, and B, organizing. And that's what I've got to do this morning. So we're just going to hang out. It's just me. Janice is on vacation this week, which is awesome. I got a text earlier. She's at a lavender farm, which is awesome. Drea is getting things ready for the rest of the week and putting, doing things behind the scenes and getting stuff ready. So I thought I'd jump on a little impromptu, So if impromptu is your thing, stick around. If it's not so much, then I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so let me caffeinate and talk to you a little bit. And if you have questions, this is a great time to just ask questions. I have no agenda whatsoever. So I've got my second camera. Let me add it to the stream here. Usually this is my phone camera and it's, the top view, but I thought that I might try and steady cam this maybe. I don't know. I think I'm Steven Spielberg when I say steady cam. Makes me feel fancy. Let me see if I even have a camera holder here. I thought I did. Maybe Steadicam won't be my thing today. I thought I had one. I guess I don't. Well, so much for that. I'll keep it on this arm because I think I'll be able to move it around on this arm. So the arm that I have, let me show you this because people are always curious about how I do my broadcasting. So here is, you can see the mess that I've got organized. Here's this clip arm that I have that I got on Amazon. And it's a clip arm that clips to my table. There, you folks can see it. Clips to my table right here. And then I put my phone in it. Okay, and that's my my overhead camera when I'm talking to you folks. All right. So let me show you. I also use a program called Camo, C-A-M-O, and that turns my iPhone. Look at my case. Isn't that pretty? I just got it. I love it so much. So this turns my iPhone into a cam, a webcam is what I want to say. So what I do is I have it now. I've got you on my, see, look at, and you can see here, no, here, there we go. I can move around with it. So I'm going to put it in this clip like this, and then I add it. Again, this isn't polished. So let me add it in. StreamYard is the streaming software that I use. It's really great. I love it. The picture's really clear and it's super easy to use. Let me go under present. Let me go to extra camera and we're going to add the stream. So there it is. So you can see this camera is right here and here I am right here. Okay. So I think I can also zoom. Yeah. Will it flip? This is kind of crazy. There I am. Okay, cool. So let me take this out so it's not confusing you for the moment. All right. So like I said, I've got a couple of things I've got to accomplish today. Or this morning, actually. My studio is still a mess from when Cynthia and Azalea were here. Remember those trays of color? They're still all right here. I got to put them away. And the back end here of where I'm working is also kind of a mess. Okay. So I'm going to share some ideas. There's a few things that I need to do. I want to share that. Then I've got a project for tomorrow that Drea's been waiting for like 4 weeks. That's due tomorrow. Ask me about my term papers in college. And so I've got to list those. So I've got all those things to do. So Dawn is asking, Kate, can I see the necklace on the mannequin? She's been dying to see it. Sure, let me get it. I love that I have a whole bunch of you hanging out with me. I should do this more often because it keeps me working. As my friend Mary likes to say, worky talkie, worky talkie. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me get that necklace. Let me take this camera off and see if I can add this. I'm going to add this to the feed. And then let me solo it. So, Dawn, you're asking, tell me which one, and I'll take it off of the mannequin. I've got several here. I'm trying not to make this too wavy gravy for you folks as I'm working. There's this one, this interior one, so that's number 1. These are all strands, so this would be number 2. And the giant treasure necklace, that's number 3. And these other 2 strands of pearls are number 4. So let me know what you want to see there. And you can see if I pull back, you can see I've got all my little mannequins there, my little busts with really pretty, just pieces that I love that I need to toss somewhere. So let me know which one, the white one. Oh, on the white mannequin, or is it, whoops, sorry. Is it this here? The one with the wings? Let me know and I'll, whoops, lift it. There we go. It's hard to steady cam. I don't know how Steven Spielberg does it. So let me know and I'll take those down. Let me get myself back on here. I'm going to put this back on the holder, the mannequin behind. Okay, perfect. Let me get it. That is kind of a special piece, and I'll tell you. The black necklace on the white mannequin. Yeah, I gotcha. Let me get it. And I'll show you. Oh, you can hear the planes flying overhead. Oh, I've also got I've got this color. Let me add this back. You can see, remember from the weekend, or from last Friday, I have the color palette that I'm working on here. I'm just going to put these right over here so I don't drop them. And there we go. I've got a brand new labeler that I'm super excited about. So let me put this over here because I need that. I'm going to need that in a second. Let me show you what's on this mannequin. There's 3, well, there's more than 3, but there are 3 kind of special things on here that I want to share with you. Let me put that. Oh, whoops. Now that's on the floor. Perfect. I'll get it later. Okay. 3 things. Let me get this cord out of the way too. Oh, here's the clasp I need for Friday. I can't lose that. This is like real me, not it's got a real me on the regular broadcast too. I'm never quite that ready. So this piece, let me zoom in. This is a piece made by our buddy Winnie Vanderen. And Winnie was the person that actually hired me at the bead shop. She is an amazing colleague. She worked for Janice. She wrote the catalog too, our 99 Beads catalog, and she hired me back in the 90s. And Winnie and I are the same age, and we were a powerhouse duo back in the days, back in the brick and mortar days of beadshop.com. Or, well, Bead Shop, brick and mortar. And so there we go. That you can see it. And so this is a piece that Winnie made out of metal clay, and it's really gorgeous. This is metal clay right here, these wings that she did. And here's some chain that dangles and some beautiful beads here at the bottom. And look at these discs. Look at how she layered these. She made these out of metal clay on a beautiful crystal quartz disc. And the line between like the slim chain and the substantial silver clay wings, these have tarnished kind of over time, so I could take a pro polish pad to them. I think I've got one sitting right here, but just a little. I wouldn't polish it actually too much. There we go. Look at how cool. If you haven't worked with metal clay, I haven't in a while, but it's one of my favorite mediums. She's got some little holes there that she's woven wire into it. Notice here's the back. And look at how around the holes that she made in this metal clay, how there are little like washers she made out of metal clay to put on the top. She's a really amazing artist. You can find Winnie. She does textiles now with some like wire and found objects. It's really great. So you can find her. It's Winnie Vanderen. You can find her on Insta. And she's really, I have a couple of her pieces, but she is the one who is really, between she and Janice, she's the one that hired me. That day I walked into the bead shop in Palo Alto for an interview. And that's how it all started. And we're still close friends. So, yeah, that's the story there. So it's a really cool piece. So that's one of them. And you can see here how if you were to wear it, it doesn't slip over, but it has a toggle clasp on the back. If I were to wear it with my workout clothes, it would sit like this, right? You can see that kind of, there we go. It's really, really cool. I love this piece. So let me show you the other two pieces that are hanging there, because it's a cool piece of bead history, if I do say so myself. I'm going to put this back on the mannequin so nothing happens to her. There we go. It's a really, the chain, I love the slim chain with the heavier metal clay pieces, though the metal clay isn't that heavy because it's thin enough to be sturdy, but not so thick that it's too heavy. I'm trying to pin this little thing back up here. Come on, pin. There we go. Well, I'll pin it later. But it's a really cool study in contrast of shape, which I like. All right, let me get this one in the front. This piece was made, I got this back in the 90s. It was gifted to me by my friend Dixie Young, who has since passed on. And Dixie, I met Dixie while I was teaching for the whole bead show back in the early 90s. I met her in Tucson. And she was a really amazing wire worker. And she did this in the style of Lynn Merchant. Do you remember Lynn Merchant? Do any of you old school beaders remember Lynn? She was out of San Diego, and she had a really distinctive wire style. This piece hails from, I'm going to say probably about 94, probably. Gosh, so that's quite a few years ago, isn't it? It seems like yesterday. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see the component parts on this. Wasn't I supposed to be cleaning and stuff, but we'll get to that. Look at the clasp work on this, right? It's gorgeous. Oh, I'll link. Let me link. I'll just go to her Insta real quick and I'll link it while you folks look at that. Let me link it. It'll be easier for you to find. Oh, it's wanting me to log in. It is. Let me show you. Let me see. Well, I will just spell it. It's VANDERRIJN. And then this will go out here. And someone can find it on Insta and post it. Okay, there we go. Winnie Vanderen. You'll find her there. And her work, it's killer. I just love her. And she's like showing in museums and things now. It blows me away. She's one of the most clever people I know. So back to this clasp. So this is probably 16 gauge is my guess. Back when sterling wire grew on trees, right? So inexpensive then. Really beautiful. The bead goes down the center, and then we've looped here. She's looped, hammered those ends. And then look at this really beautiful wrapped and capped bead. This twisted wire around. I love, this is kind of a signature Lynn kind of a look, this horseshoe with the wrap. And then look at how cool this center is. And then just dangling these coochie coil beads, these wrapped beads. And look, each one has a little sterling silver cap on it. But Dixie Young, may she rest in peace. She was a really fun lady, would come to my studio and take classes. Look at this component that's wrapped. Oh, Sharon, thanks for LynnMerchantJewelry.com. I do think that Lynn is still around doing her thing. She really was a seminal force in the wire working world. Wire was really a hot medium in kind of the mid 90s in the jewelry making world. And, that was before we could do these online tutorials and stuff like this. So my very first tutorials were on VHS, right? Where it was a huge production that we had to go through. Lynn also used a bunch of vintage German glass here. I'm sorry, Dixie used a bunch of vintage German glass here, the likes of which are getting more and more rare to find. So, oh, okay. Well, you can, let me look and see. I'm going to check that link, Sharon. Let's see. Merchant. Let's see what comes up. Let me see. Nope. Let's see. Yes, this is her. She's on Insta. It looks like. Oh, there's an Instagram. Okay, yeah. So it's on Insta. You can find her. Lynn Merchant Jewelry is her Instagram. And you can see some of her wire pieces and stuff. That is her pretty face right there. Yep. So let me put that in the chat here. Let me do that. There we go. Let's see, there's some, here we go. It's right here on Insta. Yes. And Dawn, yes, she was with the Shepherdess in San Diego. That is correct. And yes, I think that is right. Jamie and Jason, I think both studied with, we all studied with Lynn Merchant. She was the doyenne. But yeah, Jamie and Jason, you can find them over at the Bead Gallery in Hawaii. They also do some great tutorials, really fun stuff. Did I know a wire wrapper goldsmith from Harper's Ferry? No. Maybe. I've known so many wire wrappers over my days, but maybe it'll come to me. Maybe someone else knows who that is. So that was that. So let me show you this last piece that's hanging on there. So Dixie Young, we remember and salute you. And Lynn Merchant, we salute you as well as one of the great instructors. But let me show you one more thing that's hanging on this mannequin. This is a piece that I made. And this is a piece, pardon me, that I did back in the day when I was making glass beads. And I want to get my bead torch back out so badly. There's not enough time, but I was a pretty prolific bead maker back in the late 90s. And I made a lot of my own beads that I used in my work. And this was a piece. This is 12 gauge wire here. You can see it's wrapped. Another one of my Lampwork beads. And then this connector piece connects this to this neck wire with the small clasp in back. So let me zoom out so you can see the whole thing. I did a whole series of like these big wire statement pieces. Gosh, look at those coils. I was a pretty good wire worker, if I do say. But I was really into like this free form with heavy gauge. I think this is 12 is what this is. And then this is flattened. And this only takes like a chasing hammer and a bench block, right? And a metal punch. Can you see I planished those ends out there and I punched the holes and I added those dangles. Same thing for here. This is a pretty good piece. Let me show you, if I do say so myself. Let me show you how that looks. It is very Calder-esque. I've always loved Calder. This piece, I'm guessing, is from about 94, maybe. And so it's worn kind of like this. I love it. It looks great. Really elevates my workout clothes here. But it's kind of fun. I love it. So that's one of my pieces there. At Brookfield, Brookfield in Connecticut. I don't remember. Maybe it'll come to me. Calder-esque. Yeah, Calder has been my influence for forever. I love Calder. Okay, so let me pull that. So that answered your question there. We spent some time answering that question, which was good. All right, so let me show you a couple of things that I found recently. I got a new Brother P-Touch because my old P-Touch was on its last leg. And the P-Touch in the box, there was this really cool it came like this in this cardboard box. And I'm like, I can't throw this box away. I've got to use it for something. So I think it'll be super handy. It's nice and big, super sturdy. And I thought I could decorate it with washi tape, maybe, and just keep it on my desk here for tools or just a receptacle of some things. Because I don't know about you, but I can't stand throwing out a really good box. I just can't. And I love the idea of washi tape. Let me be completely honest. I love the idea of washi tape and I never use it. Right? So I went in, this washi tape is probably, I don't know, hopefully it's still sticky, maybe 10 years old. I still haven't used it. I use this a little bit, but this one still has the packaging on it, right? So I'm telling you. So I'm going to actually put some washi tape on this to decorate this box. Use the washi tape. And indeed, Terry, like my gran, it's a lovely box. It's a shame not to use it. Right? That's what my gran would say. Oh, honey, don't throw that little box away. We could use it. So I'm going to put some washi tape on this sucker and use it. So let me put that over there. So a couple of the things, I'm going to go Steadicam. here now. Let me get me back on there too. There we go. Okay, so can we see out here okay? So on the back wall here of where I broadcast to you, this is where I actually do a lot of my work when I'm creating samples. So I've shown you this before, but I'm going to show you this again. Let me kind of zoom out here if you can see. I got these bins, and you can see there's Ceylon and wire, and there's Chinese knotting cord, and there's a bunch of leather. So it's not particularly pretty, but it does, let me turn this way, but it does the job organizationally for me, right? So what I have there, some of them are labeled, like there's one for all Beadalon products, and there's one for elastic, and there's one for bead looms. Those are my personal assorted beads over there. But these here at the top don't have labels. So one of the things that I recommend is label everything. Gosh, my hair is looking crazier and crazier. Let me show you on this side what's behind me. It's like underneath like Julia Child's counter. Well, this is what it looks like. Let me show you. So here, let me get this cord out of the way. Here where I stand is a bunch of stuff. So I've got silk there. Those used to be class samples. I never relabeled that box. A lot of these boxes need to be relabeled, though chain is actually chain. I need to put needles on that box right there because those are needles. End tips, yes. Checkmates, there's some Miyuki spacers, and there's 15-aughts. And then down there is where I keep my drawers of mixed up beads that when I only have a few left, I throw them in those drawers. Okay. I also have here leather cord, random bead shop projects, and random live projects. So I need to put all of this business away because that's not, let me solo that so it's a little bit bigger. So, so that I can at least see them and not fall over them. Also, here are the trays. Look at dose of realness. Here are the trays from when Cynthia visited, and I find this to be super daunting for me right now. So I've got to put this stuff back. And then I've got drawers. These were an IKEA product that I loved so much. I have like 4 of these tables. They don't make them anymore, but sometimes you can find them on like Facebook Marketplace and stuff. We're going to do a little flip here because this cord's getting in the way. So bear with me. How'd you like that flip? That was good. This one has the first aid kit in case I cut myself on camera, and just a few items there, box cutter. And over here has all of my broadcasting stuff that I need. Oh, no, that's the microphone. There should have been a Steadicam clip thing here, but it's not. So I have no idea where it is. It's not in this drawer. Okay, so that's that. So I'm going to put this back in the clip here. There we go. And how on earth do I have a drawer I don't know. Maybe it's the middle one. Maybe it's because I stand in front of it. Who knows? I don't know. Okay. So I need to do some labeling. And I found, so when we're doing another run of It's a Lot of Leather. And so in the It's a Lot of Leather, I have a bunch of, like when it comes, we save it. But we also we have our fulfillment center, send us like kind of the leftovers So there's leather, there's kimono cord, there's little bits of chain, there's like, I don't know, random beads and stuff. So when it comes to me, it's in kind of this jumbled box. So I don't have much kimono cord, funnily enough. So when Chris was doing the bags of It's a Lot of Leather, he sorted this kimono cord out. And sometimes this kimono cord is exactly what I need. I just need like a little piece of it or something for a project. So I need a kimono cord box. So I got a small box for that. Everything, my studio is what used to be my garage. So it still gets a little dusty like garages. So I've got my Windex. I'm not spraying it on my rash like my Italian ancestors would, right? But Windex fixes everything. So I'm going to do that and clear this out. There we go. And let's throw this kimono cord in here. Whoops, there's a piece of leather cord in here. So that goes in a different bin. But now, look, I don't even have to make it look pretty. I'm just going to throw it in this bin. Put this lid on it. And I'm going to call this kimono. Oh, I want it to be all caps. Let me see. This is a new one that I got. So I haven't printed with it yet. I wonder if this is going to print like really large. What do you think? Font. Oh, here we go. Size. That's what I want. Size. I want, okay. And I want medium. Okay. Oh, good. All right. Now let's print it. Yeah, one copy. One copy. This fancy. Now, who knew? Yeah, my big fat Greek wedding. It was my big fat Greek wedding. But, you know, my gran also loved Windex. Look, so here's my kimono cord. And let's put this on. So now what I found, you know, when I was doing my photo shoot for my second book, I had my old studio in South San Francisco. And they were coming to me since it was my second book. I didn't have to go to them. They came to me and did the shoot, which was cool. But my studio was a mess. It was a mess. It wasn't like a mess, but who am I kidding? It was a pretty big mess. So I was like, holy crap, I've got a fancy photographer. I've got people from Interweave. I've got all these people coming, and my studio is a mess. So I tapped on my friend Mary, my dear friend Mary, who got me so organized. And her best piece of advice to me that I still use, and that's how I've kept organized all these years later, was that if everything has a label, the planes are going over again. If everything has a label, it'll have some place to go, right? This used to have soft flex in it. Let me take this off. I might reuse this label. I don't know. Maybe that's too thrifty of me, but I might need it. But now it has kimono cord. So I can see, especially when I'm broadcasting with you folks and I'm kind of flailing around, I'll actually be able to see this and go, oh, that's kimono cord. Okay, so that's done. Then I've got all of these little bits of chain that's here. My chain organization really needs some work. Okay. Yeah, this new one, I mean, this seems fancy. I haven't done anything with it yet. I got it on Amazon, of course, and it looks a little fancier than my old one, which is probably 20 years old. So I'm excited. So this chain, I have a box for chain. I'll be honest, it's not organized the best, but it does say chain. And the way when you order chain from Bead Shop, this is a big bin. And we carry some organizational bins on Bead Shop. Oops, my KO fell. But we don't have them that's quite this large. I got this from the the tackle store, the hardware store, or whatever. And you can see my chain needs a lot of work. But what's cool when you get the chain from Bead Shop is we label it. It comes with how much is in it and what the name of the chain is. So at least there's that. I should organize this by color. I should, maybe by type. I should, right? But am I gonna? Probably not, right? But this also has like random pieces of chain, so I'm just gonna not beat myself up and throw all this random chain in here. I can get back to this later, right? But at least the chain has a home. I'm not fretting about it, right? Not too much anyway. This bin is now empty. I can put it away. I've got a little more chain back here on this back hook. This back wall is also bugging me. So I'm going to tackle that and figure this out. But see, maybe I'll put all of this loose chain in the front right here. I could get little baggies and stuff for this later, but it's okay. I know some of you are cringing. I can feel your cringe through the lens of the computer, but I'm not, no harm, no foul, no shame in my chain game, kids, right? So there's my chain. Putting these dividers back in and calling it a day. I wish that I could get this off. Can I? Why are these sticky labels so... Oh, look. There we go. Sorry, that's loud. There we go. That is better, I think. Dawn says no cringe. Thank you. I know. We gotta be real. This is, I don't have like 12 production assistants that can organize my chain. I wish I did. I mean, sometimes then, I don't know. Whatever. I'm totally fine with it. All right. So this chain. Someone else was asking about findings. Let me show you my findings in real life. And then, let me see. What are they? Can you tell? I'm looking for them here. What do I have? My findings are not very organized, and they should be, but they're not. I do have, let me show you this. I've got some of these. You might remember this one when Cynthia was here. We looked at, these are some old school clasps that don't exist in the real world anymore. Those are some beads. I'm taking those out. But I keep all of my fancy pants clasps in here. Some that I made years ago with my Lampwork, stuff like that. So here, I've just labeled these fancy clasps. That's it. So I need some more. It has some kind of schmutz on here that I think I'll finally take off. I have a bin. It's in one of these bins, and I can't find it because it's not labeled, right? But I have one for ear wires and earring findings and stuff. Spray that Windex. Let's clean this off. Gets a little dusty, like I said. So there we are. Look at that. These fancy clasps have been in this box for years. But there we go. So I can put it here. These are end tips. These are needles. Oh, I can put a needles label on this. Betty is asking, are those wooden display shapes behind you? They are. I think, I'll be honest. Of course, like all display, I have no idea where I got these. I bet I got these at one of the gem shows, maybe. Couple of places that I found things that I've really liked are Etsy. There's a lot of Etsy sellers who make really beautiful, like wood display This one, I think, see, it's like this. It has this open routed thing, and then it has this. I probably found these when I was with Emily because Emily is a really good scouter of good display. So it looks like this, just a wood neck. It's flat, and it has some pegs down the back. But take a look on Etsy. You may find something there. Oh, and Karen is saying she's found some unique jewelry display items on Wayfair. That's a great tip as well. If anyone else has some tips about those, but these I really think I bought these in person, and I think it might have been in Tucson a few years ago. Maybe that's what I'll look for next time I'm in Tucson. If you folks are interested in display, it might be kind of fun. Karen's saying Michael's might have some wood displays as well. Yeah, they may. And I like to repurpose things anyway. So let me show you a couple of other display items that I have back here. And I always collect display. So this is a big old mess, but I'm not going to be embarrassed about my big old mess. So hang on. Let me take this out here. Here I am.
I found this on the web.
Oh, no. No, Siri. Thank you, Siri, but no. Sorry about that. There we go. All right. I'm going to unplug. I think I can unplug from there. So here are those necks, right? And then this is a neck that I've covered with just plain muslin. Can you see that? So it's a black velvet neck underneath, I think, but it has kind of a nice look to it with the muslin. There's one that I covered with dew peony right there. Those little brown like stand-up mannequins I've had forever. I got them when I had my brick and mortar. I had a whole bunch of them. I still have them, but I loved them. And then there are those flat wood ones. I can't believe I only got 2 of those. I might have some more hanging around. Then here in this messy mess, I always look for things that help me get height. So here's this little, I don't know, it's like a little wooden bench. I get like little cups, things that make me happy. This is an old piece from India that's like a pillar stand. Here, whoops, I'm kicking my stuff here. This is one of those little like chicken wire kind of display things. So I'll use these to kind of quickly hang earrings on or something like that if I need to. And then here, I am a big fan of pegboard like this. This is a big old mess. This is a sad, not very pretty mess that I need to take care of. But here I have, so I can grab them, because I know how I am. I like to pile things in bins. So they're clear, so I can kind of see what it looks like. I can take them out fairly quickly. They don't have to be super organized, but I can access them pretty quickly. Okay, so that's really what works for me. I have another bin here that I'm going to put up that I can also like easily grab stuff out of, like this right there. Those we used to have in the office. So let me go around. Let me see what people are asking. Oh, yep, Belle Armoire. Yes, Lorena, I love Belle Armoire. I've been in Belle Armoire a few times. It's a great mag. Awesome. Let me see what else people are asking. Oh, I love the wood spools. I use the wood spools a lot. Let me solo this so you folks can see it. I use wood spools a lot also for display. Those little cups, those pretty drawings of Cynthia's. I need to frame those, put them on the wall. Elizabeth Windsor giving me the side eye, which I love that too. Let's see. Karen is saying she's found a children's step stool painted and used for display. Fruit crates. I also love fruit crates. 100%. let me show you over here. Someone was asking about this unit the other day, and yep, it's a mess. But that's what today is all about. This is where I keep my projects that I have to work on. So my live projects that need to see the light of day again, I pile on these trays, right? To sometimes never be seen again, but they eventually come back around. So that, at least I can move that around. They're not extremely organized, but they're organized enough for me, right? Like this one, this was that BFF bracelet or whatever that I need to finish, but everything is there. I mean, right from the live show, it went into this bin and onto that tray. So it's there. Here's something that you folks don't see a lot of, which is my metalsmithing part of this world. And it has, again, more pegboard in the back right there. And this really, again, more of these IKEA tables, my soldering setup. But you can see all my tools and stuff right on that back board. And then I've got my pencil sharpener. Can't work without a pencil sharpener. And just some other stuff going on there. This still needs a little bit of work. I still have some things that I have to unwrap. That's my setting station and stuff like that. So this is coming along. Then here, these are a fairly new acquisition for me that I just got when I moved into this studio. These are those big rolling cases from Harbor Freight. And they have the nice wood top to them, so I can put some of my tools on here. But they also have drawers that are heavy duty, so that all of my metalsmithing tools can go in there. Hey friends, how are you? And more stuff here on the bottom. Okay. Then I've got another one. Let's walk over here. Again, kind of a mess over here. I haven't spent a lot of time near my hydraulic press, but that's going to change. And I've got stones and stuff and all kinds of this kind of business here, hydraulic press. So I like to work in what Cynthia would call zones, okay? And it's really true. I set everything up in my studio, like here's the zone for all my books are all here, right? Then we've got the photography zone. We've got some of the packing zone. And then some of the stuff that we send out, not a lot, hardly any of our inventory lives here, but it comes into me and then I've got to figure out where it goes and I've got to quality check it and all that kind of stuff. So I've got everything kind of zoned off in here. This needs a big organizational lift, but I have bins, things need to go in there. All of the bead shop samples that I took off the wall when we moved, they're living in here, so I know where they are. Everything on these bins are labeled, so at least I know what's there. I'm not accessing them all right now, but I have faith that I will eventually. So I think breaking up your space into zones that are workable helps a lot, right? This space was a garage. So, and I didn't have, how many years? The first 20 years of my jewelry making career, I did not have a studio. And I too worked out of my bedroom. My first book, Simple Soldering, right there. I wrote it in a space with a metal smithing space that was like this big. It was in my bedroom. So I think that you can, with a small space, because we don't all have the luxury of space. I didn't have it, as I say, for years and years. If I only had this counter space to work in, I think really sorting your things having them sorted, but not sorted down so it's super precious. Does that make sense? You can kind of generalize and stack things together and label, label, label. I also think going on the walls, pegboard if you can. Sometimes you can't in a house if it's a rental or if you don't want to screw up the walls or something like that. But you could find some creative solutions on how to make like the wall, like you can put it on a stand or I don't know, that may work. Nancy's saying, I'll tell you, I know how fortunate I am. I didn't have my studio for a while and it wasn't a great place for me, but I'm so, so grateful to have this place. I mean, it still needs work. It's always a work in project, but, if you have to work in your dining room, I still work in the dining room. I cut out patterns. I cut out clothes when I'm sewing in there. But I always say, get like a cabinet. That's what I did. I had a cabinet in my room. I kind of retrofitted an old computer desk and I stacked things underneath. And so I had it at least contained, right? So distill it down. Think about what you need your space to do, and then try and make what space you have jive with what you need it to do, if that makes sense. So don't sweat it if you don't have a big space. We all don't, right? Not all of us do. Becky, I loved it when my bedroom was my craft room because I felt like I was sleeping in the same room with the pieces, the things that brought me the most joy, right? So I don't know. I think it was kind of cool. I also took all of the books out of my bookcase in my bedroom and I put bins there. So I had all my stuff there and I put the books out in the living room. I have a friend who she made her master bedroom, her studio, which was awesome. And then she sleeps in like a smaller bedroom, right? I think it's great. Let me see. There's some other. Yes, repurposing a closet into an office. I think that's a great idea, Terry. I had a friend of mine. She owned a bead store in back east, a series of bead stores. And what she did was she had a hall closet that had kind of like a pull out. And when she wanted to work, she opened the door. Everything was there and she had everything. She could pull up her chair to it. And then when she was done, she'd close the door and she was done like that. So I thought that was great. That was great. Lynn, you are so fortunate to have a soldering, resin, and painting room and a bead room. Wow. I still think I want like that. Well, I have a sewing room too. It's in there. One of the reasons we moved to Fresno, right? I can have space. But yeah, it's the sound of a bead room makes it sound so fancy. Deanne is saying, I'd love to take a metalsmithing class from you. Used to make gold nugget jewelry years ago, but it's been a very long time since I've soldered. Deanne, go over to my YouTube, the Kate Richburg YouTube. I've got a bunch of like soldering demos and stuff on there that you can find. Lynn, it's just me. Well, more power to you, right? You are the ruler of your world. I love it. Sally is asking, here we go. Do you sort by color? I have lots of seed beads and they're sorted by color, but I'm trying to get on ideas about how to sort my gemstones and check and etc. Okay, so here's a moment of truth. Let me tell you, this moment of realness. And I've got to sort. This is like my bin of shame. I'm all right with it. This is my seed bead storage right now. And I've got bins. All I really need to do is sort them. So I've got bins like this where I toss things in. Like, look, here's a monthly mix. And here's you know, more mixes and some quarter tilas and all this. So this has to get organized so that when I'm working, I can go to the A-dot bin. I have more than one bin of shame, but all my seed beads are kind of in bins of shame. It wouldn't take me that much to sort them, but at least they're all in one place, right? So I'm gonna get to this. It's no problem. I do have the 15s. I am pretty proud of myself in that I started to keep the 15-aughts. Look at these, are just 15s, right? So the 15s are in here. There's a little unintentional 15s mix when the 15s came in and some of them were open. So I just made a mix. I didn't, because there's no way I'm sorting size 15 beads. But the 15s are all, for some reason, I thought I could, maybe it's because they all came in at once. But look, in the 15s, there's some bugle beads. What a flippin' surprise that is, right? But here they are. So the 15s are organized, and it's organized enough. For me, for seed beads, I want them organized by size. I don't know how you want them organized, but for size, okay? Bead, blends, and mixes. I'm going to show you that too, Terry. That's a great question because I've got that to sort. So let me put those down there. I've got, so things that we carry at Bead Shop. This is Checkmates beads. So this should be Checkmates bars, which they are. But there's also tilas in here. So I should take these tilas out, right? And just put Checkmates in here. So I think I will do that. I won't do it right now. I don't know, maybe I will. But this, the Checkmates tiles and the Checkmates bars, these are those, the bars in here. That'll make it easier because I do want to make a project with these, so it'll make it a little bit easier to find them. These are all tilas, quarter tilas, half tilas. I've got a project coming up with those. Okay, so these look like they're just Checkmates bars. Now I've got some regular Checkmates tiles. I had a handful of them. Here they are. I'm going to throw those in there. Look. Done. Instant organization, and now the Checkmates are done. All right. Thanks. That's good. I'm going to put them down here. Okay. Another tip is I like all of my bins to match. I know that that's a little crazy, but they stack the best if they all match. All of these shoe bins, these have come from the Container Store, and you can buy them in a big, big box, and they ship them to your house. Yeah, all the Checkmates, these that I have, the bars are 2-hole. See right there? They're 2-hole. And then the tiles, they're also 2-hole here. So that's this. And for now, oh, here's another one. And for now, they can all stay in there. Okay, so let me pull that one back down. What do I have here? Here's, oh, it looks like I started sorting. This looks like 11-aughts, except for one flippin' Checkmates. That's a mix. These are all 11s. Let me get rid of these random baggies. Is this an 11? No, that's a 15. Take it out. Put it in the 15 bin. Put this Checkmates in the Checkmates bin. Okay, look at that. Bam. I do have a bin of mixes, so maybe some of those monthly mixes. I have a sample of every monthly mix that we've ever made. So what's that, like 5 years of this? So I need to put those in there. I've got more. They're just put away. So great. So I'm going to pile. I'm back here. I'm back here. Let me put me here and here. I'm going to put these away. And then let's talk about color, shall we? Let's put this bin of shame, the seed bead bin of shame, back here for a second. Let me throw this away. Let me take these 11s. Oh, let me label it. All right. On. Clear. Do I know how to do this? Clear. Okay. And these are, why is this so fancy? This font. There we go. Maybe back. Text only. Okay. Accepted. Okay, there we go. This is kind of fancy. This new 11 aught. That's all I need. Yeah, one copy. It's such a fancier thing here. All right. Look. Label. I'm making progress. My mom's asking, where's Christine? My bestie from high school. She is the world's best organizer. I know she is. She's organized me my whole life. Okay, then silk. I've got two things of silk thread. This is a conundrum. So this has some needles, which don't belong in here. So I'm going to put the needles in this needle bin. Then I have this silk right here that sometimes I like to pull out and use. So maybe this is like my collection of precious silk threads. Maybe I could put this box in a box. I don't know. What would you do with this? Look, here's a random nest of thread. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut that off. My gran would be screaming that I did this and didn't wind them up perfectly. But I'm just going to put this bin in a bin right now. I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not. Can I get this bin in here? Not really. Not the best. Maybe I'll just do 2 bins of silk. Silk box number 1 and silk box number 2, because I've got some more silk back here, actually, on big random spools. So let me do that. These are some that I had from my bead store years ago. I'd love to be able to find these giant spools again. They were fun. Right, so there we go. Let me put this. Let me put, this is, nope, that's nylon. That's silk. That's nylon. Okay, and these are silk. Also, back in the day, these are some from Bellissimo, way back in the day, when they sold the silk on these small cards. They don't do that anymore, really. But here we go. So I've got silk number 1 and silk number 2, which I'm fine with. And this one also has the silk on the card. And I had a silk on the card here a second ago, but I don't know what happened to it. So I can change it out. So let me do this. Let me clear this. Clear and more silk and print. 1 copy. Thank you very much. Oh, maybe sort silk by dark and white or brights. That's not a bad idea. You know, would it stay that way? Probably not. I think I've got this small box because I liked the small box. It was handy. And I think I was going somewhere to string, so I put it in a smaller box. But now I just have 2. So maybe I'll move them out or whatever later. But I'm going to put this. So there we go. Silk and silk. Done. Sue's asking, would sewing silk work? You know, it might. I would get multiple plies or multiple strands of that silk, I guess, and put them through the needle and try it out. Silk thread really is silk thread, I think. The beading thread, though, that I'm using is a lot heavier. So make sure that whatever thread you're using is heavy enough. And you can just use multiple strands to make sure of that. So let me put silk down here. Silk is done. All right. This is a random bin that's making me crazy. This has leather spools in it. Look, I've got another leather spool here and another leather spool here. My leather is also woeful, right? This is my leather bin of shame. Right here, one of them. Which I'm all right with too. Let me see if I can lift this. I'm all right with it. But I should really sort this into braided, right? So maybe I'll do that right now. Let me get this here. Here's braided. We've got some new braided coming in. I just ordered it yesterday. Janice and I did, even though Janice is on vacation. This has some random wire on it. Let me take that off. We've got 5 new colors in braided coming, and it's colors that we've chosen, including the violet, the distressed violet, which I think is going to look amazing. But again, you don't have to be precious with your organizing. I feel like if at least it's in a bin with its friends, I'm halfway there, right? Now, this leather, of course, I get a lot of the pieces and stuff of leather that we don't sell or that's too short or whatever, because when we sell you leather, we make sure that the leather has no knots at all, right? So there's a lot of leftover. Here's some samples of leather that I'm considering. Here's strap. Strap should go somewhere else too, probably, right? So that's that. That's better. Here's some pieces. There's another little piece. Okay, good. Oh, here's a tassel. That doesn't belong there. I could wind the leather around a paper towel tube. That is a great idea. I could also use some of the many spools I have hanging around. I could wind them, but I know myself. If it's wound, I'll look at it and I'll go, oh, I'm just going to have to wind that back up so I won't use it. Does that make sense? Right? So here's braided. This is braided leather and braided cotton. Oh, there's something with a needle. That's treacherous. I don't like that. So let me see if I can take that out. I also have things like random little samples of stuff that I do. There we go. And that was one when I used the crimps from that Love of Lydia chain. Remember those links, and I crimped them flat. That was smart of me. I need to remember that. Sometimes when I have these little bits like this, I'll hang them up. You know what? I'm just going to cut this off because this is too long. There we go, with these really dull scissors. Now I've got this piece, and I'm going to put it over here to remind myself. I've got also a little bin of like random samples of things. This looks better. So here's this. These are all of the samples of sizes. I used this last week of the macrame on leather. So let me get rid of these samples that are just tossed in these boxes. Here's some flat leather, flat leather, flat leather. That's rubber. That doesn't fit anywhere really. But here's leather samples. So let me take them out. At least they're together, right? That's something for me anyway. Snake knot. There's that. Here's some Chinese button knots. Okay, and more flat leather, because I do have some flat leather projects coming up as well, and that leather just getting buried in there. Oh, and here's that. So that's braided and flat. All right, this is better. This random white thread I've got to take out. Okay, so these samples I'm going to put over here for now, because I've got other things that are leather that are samples that can live there. Oh, and these. I've got this bag of leather samples, so I'm going to put them there. I'm going to make a bin, I think, that says like not samples or something. That should work out for me. Now I've got some room in this bin. Oh, wax linen. What a surprise. Does not go in there. This random tassel I cut off something. Those don't go in there. Get out. Out. Wax linen. I think this is only in this one random like black rubber cord. I'll leave it in there because it's round. And I'm going to dump this leather. Yeah, this is a baggie. I also try to get rid of some of the baggies. So here's woven. Let's put woven in here. Those are the crimps for it, but I'm not going to put those in there. This is all leather. And then baggies go in the baggie bin. Okay, this is looking better, right? Now, okay, so let me get those. Here's some spools. I know I should have a bin of spools and a bin for loose, but for now, maybe I'll put the spools in the big one and the loose in the smaller one, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll just put them all together. Because when I use leather, this is kind of how I use it. And if I get more, I'll deal with this. Okay? But I like how that looks. I probably have some more leather cord here somewhere. Let me see. What's this? Oh, braided. Braided goes in there. That doesn't look too bad. Okay. Done and done. All right, look at that. The leather. The leather's kind of done. That's surprising me. Oh, no, but I have the leather strap. So, and these samples. I'm going to put these samples right here. Like that. Okay. So this is good. So let me get that small bin. This one will be braided. 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 And then I need another bin like that for flat. Right? Do I have another bin? I do. I've got it right here. This one used to have wire in it, but now it will have flat strap. Whoops, I just threw some flat strap on the floor back there, but that's all right. I'll get it. So now I need 3 labels. I'm going to put these findings over here. I'll deal with those later. Lid, lid, and lid. All right. So, on leather dash round print. 1 copy. Leather dash braided. And leather flat, right? Flat print. Okay. This is, of course, there's always one thing, like this tiny little piece of random, I don't know if this was a sample. What do I do with this? I'm going to put it in round, and it's not actually really, it might be suede. I don't know. I'm going to just let it go and cut. Okay, great. So let me label these, and this one's done. All right, I need to pick out, oh, we also need to look at things by color. Then I need to go to my project here. So leather braided. Thank you all for, so many of you are sticking in with me here while I do this. Thank you for that. In my messiness and still in my workout clothes. Not camera ready at all. But you know, it's a tidying up Tuesday. All right, so I have leather round, which is good. So I'm going to put this down there. This will kind of go in the cord and thread zone down here. So there's leather. Here's, let me throw that away. Here's flat. And yeah, this, there's always room to grow, right? You don't fill the bin. There's room to grow here for this. So there's flat leather. Here's braided leather right there. So that goes down here. I'm going to put it here. Oh, look what I just found. Charlotte's in a box marked blue. Really? What else? What are you going to do? I'm going to put my kimono cord right there. And I'm going to put the silk right there as well. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad. All right. These 15s. I like them in these bins like this, a color per. So I think I'm just going to, or 13 Charlottes. I think I'm just going to leave it like that, but let's take blue off the side and put 13-aught Charlottes on these. Okay. 13-aught Charlottes. Whoops, and no. So I have it on caps. Okay, got it. Let me print that out. Okay. Oh, Teresa, I wish that for you too. Wish you didn't have to go back to work after lunch. I want to go to my workspace and reorganize it. You know, at the end of the day, I always think, you know, when I'm done with work, then I'm going to conquer XYZ. And it never happens, but it might. Go home today and do one thing. Do one organizational thing. It'll make you feel better. So here's my 13-aught Charlottes label. Let's label this sucker. And if I get more colors, maybe I'll just make another box. But Charlotte's, the reason I have them in this box is I like keeping them on the hanks like this, because when I work with them, they're just easy to move around when they're on hanks like this, right? So I don't want to take them off of the hanks right now. So, all right, the Charlottes are labeled. So let's put them on top there. I still haven't found, like, what's this? Oh, this is yet another box of needles that I'm trying out for you, and thread. I'm just going to put the lid back on. That's just going back underneath there. Whoops, I don't want to know what that is yet. Then I also have, so I, like you folks, have a bunch of random crap like this. Oh, I have a box that says KO. My KO is organized. Where is it? I'll put that away. But I get things in, or like I have a bunch of these plumeria beads. I have some of this random stuff here that's left over from projects and stuff. So what I do a lot of times, like this is all stuff that's fairly new in Bead Shop, right? So I put them together as kind of new so that I can grab this box and use it fast on broadcasts. So that's kind of what this box is all about. It works for me for this stuff particularly, but I also will probably eventually have to move all of this stuff into different bins. But it works for me for now, okay? And stuff that I know I'm going to use in broadcasts, I keep kind of close. So that's what this bin is. Oh, and I found my there, and it says earring findings. I just couldn't see it. It's not, this again is not the best, but let me cut off this tag though, this tab. Okay. So this it's mostly head pins and eye pins in here. These clasps don't really belong in there. Those random beads don't really belong in there. But these head pins and eye pins do. This memory wire doesn't. So I guess I could put all of these kind of to the side and get some ear wires in here too, if I wanted. But I don't know that I do. I might change this to head pins and eye pins instead of just random earring findings. That's what I'm going to do. That's going to make me feel better. So let me do that. Head pins, eye pins. Pins. I find that things for me, if I'm more generalized with how I store things, it's a little easier for me to deal with, because I like the idea of having head pins in one box and eye pins in another, but realistically that's not going to work for me, right? I want to see everything all together. So there's head pins and eye pins. That's better. Same thing with these Tyla beads. I'm not going to do them by full, half, and quarter. I'm just going to put them in a bin. So let me go get one, and I'll get the box. I just took this out of the box, so let me get the box for this label maker. I like it. Again, I got it on Amazon. Let me get another box here, another plastic bin. I got a bunch. I'm way back in the bowels here, so bear with me here just a second while I grab them. Oops, crash. Let me grab the box that the P-Touch came in. I'll show you what that looks like. It's this one. And again, I just got it like I don't know, in the last month or so. It's this one, this P-Touch D220. Label and organize your home office. Has a bunch of fonts and stuff. It's fancy. I felt fancy. So there's that. Here are my bins. So let's put these bins over here. Let's get one. The moment has come for Tyla's. Look. That feels good. I also have these little, I might have gotten these from my buddy Winnie. She used these for jewelry display. They're kind of bamboo. My guess is she got them at some kind of bath store. But they're cool to turn over, so you can put things on the top here to display, or you can put things in them. I've got quite a few of these. I like these a lot. All those empty bins go over there. So, all right, Tyla's. So I'm just going to call this Tyla Beads. And I know that all kinds go in here. That's it. No, nothing too difficult about that, right? Okay. Last thing I want to deal with before I move on is this wax linen. I've got to put these somewhere. So let me put Tyla's there. They have a lid. They're going right underneath here. Okay, good. Right there. Oh, what's this? Oh, here. I didn't know what this was because it didn't have a label on it. These are also my mixed. I've got pearls in this bin. This is like my traveling pearl bin that if I want a pearl knot somewhere out in the wild, I just grab that bin. This needs a little work too, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. These are clasps and findings. I need to clasps and jump rings. I should organize these down, distill this down a little bit more, but for now I'm really okay with it. And the clasps for those crimps, I put them over here. I'm going to throw those in here too. Do I have anything else on here? Oh, and you know what I need a bin for? Super duos. So let me do that right there. Okay, I'm going to label this clasps and jump rings so I know what they are. Let me do that. Let me go with, I want to change the size. How did I do that? No. Maybe shift. Nope. Font. Yeah, there we go. Size. Perfect. There we go. Okay, what did I say? Clasps and findings or something like that? Oh, clasps and jump rings. Clasps. And jump rings. Print. All right. Yeah, pearl knotting in the wild. It's true. I went the other day, Cynthia and Azalea and I, when we went to the Bay Area, we visited a friend and we all brought projects to work on. And so I brought all my pearl knotting things. It was fun. I always want to be ready to like pearl knot in public, right? Okay, clasps and jump rings. So that's not too bad. I mean, it's not beautiful in this box, but at least it's together, right? That's all I can ask for, really. So there we go, clasps and jump rings. Put it on kind of straight, kind of even. Put the lid on it. Call it a day. So that's it, clasps. And then these, let's label this. These are Miyuki drops. So let me do that. I know, I promise I'll get there, but I get getting distracted. I might as well make this label right now. Miyuki drops. So I think for this kind of stuff, I prefer to organize by type, right? Because usually for me, when I'm making a project, I'll choose beads by type, right? But for I want to show you a bin of actually my personal beads here in just a second when I do designs for Kate Richburg jewelry. I want to show you that because being a creative and teaching with this product and being a creative and making for the sheer making are kind of two different mindsets in my book. Let me just put a label on these Super Duos. Whoops, if I spelled it right. Duos. Print. All right. But I've got one of my personal bead trays. These are all my personal beads. They don't, we may or may not have had them at the shop at one time, but this is what I do my designing, some of my knotting and designing with. Super Duos. Here we go. That's done. And there is a lid on Super Duos. Okay. Perfect. Right. I'll put those right here. Liza's saying she really likes the bigger than little storage and little storage for jump rings, etc. I do too. That's what I have, these, and I can put them right on my pegboard on a hook through these. And see, I have them labeled as to what is in there. I agree. I love them. So let me get my tray. Put these back there. Got my tray here. Let me just grab it. Okay. And I'm not really neatening this up at all. It's just the way it is here. So when I design a line or a series of necklaces or things, I put my beads together like a little bead store, like I did when I had a store. And the way I would do it when I had a store would be, I would kind of do it by color, but I would try and create a visual feast for the eyes, if that makes sense, right? So what I can do, if I were designing a series of necklaces with these beads, it would be very easy for me to come in and go, yeah, okay, I like this little bead, and I'm going to use this one. You know, I shop, with what I'm going to use, right? Then I'll transfer this onto like whatever my work surface is, but I'll lay out all of my beads like a little store. So I'll have like 5 or 6 trays, and they're just wood trays. I think, again, I got them on Etsy probably. And I cut small pieces of leather to go on the bottom. So they're easy for me to pick things up, and they're also, they're all kind of dark, the same color here. Here's a random clasp, and they're all cushioned. I also have, when I'm making, my price per bead here. And I have them on little stickers on the side, so that when I'm making to sell, I can look and I can charge myself what these beads cost in the piece. So I'm not guessing. Does that make sense? So I'll lay all of these out on a big table, and I'll shop my stash to make things. And I have very specific trays of product that I use, when I'm designing. I have, let me show you this here real quick. What I do when I shop for myself, not the store, but it's the same with the store as well. I'll keep the business card of who I got it from and my receipt. I'll keep it in the bag. And then I won't take these things out until I make a tray. Like these now all have to go into a tray and get priced. Aren't these beautiful? These are hard to come by. Old carnelian with silver banding. So precious, but I need to make a tray of these so I can use them. Then I'll put the price when I'm going to charge myself to use them in my piece. But until that time, they stay in the bag with the tag and the receipt. And I'll also write on the bag as well. Okay, yeah, these weren't cheap. But for my own personal things, I like to use for my designs I use super high-end stuff because that's kind of my jam. But, you know, charge yourself for it when you use it, and you'll know how much it is, so you're not guessing, right? So this, I'll take this, I'll put it back here. I just keep it kind of back here. But I've got more stuff back here that I have to use. So, okay, I also do, let's take a look at these trays. Now that this is head pins and eye pins, I'm going to put that there. I need to make one for bugle beads because you always have bugle beads hanging around. Oh, I did say I was going to do wax linen, but I'm not. I have a random wax linen bin here. It's a big old mess. Look, there's even elastic in here, and the elastic actually goes in the, you know, this elastic is kind of old. I should actually probably dump it and order some new for me. But maybe I won't. Maybe let me just get this out. There we go. This is all waxed linen now. Okay. I know I should have like cute little cards. Not should, but it'd be nice to have little cards and have them all wound, but that's not happening. So this, and then I'm going to put this in the bin marked elastic. Yay. Come on, open up. There we go. All right. Bam. Okay. So let's take a look at some of this random stuff on here. Remember this? Remember this pile of stuff that I used when Cynthia was here? So some of this is bead shop stuff. This is like super duos. When we did that kind of wonder wheel of beauty, when we did that color wheel. So what I'm going to do with this is I think I'm going to sort all of this by color, you know? Why not? Then maybe I'll make some bins by color so that maybe I'll use them to design that way. So let me get some smaller bins. Okay, I've got some over here. I get these bins at the dollar store. When I'm organizing, because I don't love it that much. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to organize your stuff, right? But not always for me. I start getting a little like, oh,
I'm not sure I understand.
oh, be quiet, Siri. You know, what am I gonna, you know, how should I organize it, or how should I sort it, or whatever. So I like to organize like as quickly as I can, so I don't ruminate over it too much and second guess myself. Okay. So I get these at the dollar store. Use them for sorting stuff and everything. So I'm going to sort these beads to start by color. Why not? Let's put all the greens in one bin. And I'm also going to do that with, like, look, I've got some of these loose beads. These are kind of green. Those aren't. There's some green ones in here. So let me just toss these green in here. Bam. I'm going to need a blue one. Is this blue or is this green? This might be blue. So I'll start a blue bin over here. These are kind of, I don't know why I threw these in here. Those aren't really green. These are kind of blue-ish, right? I think they go. Let me highlight this so you can see this. Okay. These will all go in the red and pink bin. So let me make another one of those. Let me move the P-Touch red bin right here. So that way, so like this stuff that's making me nutty, like this pink and purple, Now it's no longer making me nutty because it's in the pink and purple bin, right? Red, red. I'll put yellows with greens. I need a brown and a natural, so I'm going to put that there. Yellow. And I like organizing by color and not worrying too much about type, especially like this weird random stuff that I have here. Then I can go ahead and further detail this down and put them away into their types, right? But let me wind the CKC. The CKC I'm going to put away. The Chinese knotting cord, I'll put away. Maybe I'll do one with metallics. Here's all that metallic. There's an orange. Here's a metallic. These metallic beads can go in there. Pink. Green. This soft flex I'm going to put back on the peg on the wall, which is good. Let me get this random stuff off the wall here. Bear with me. I've been wanting to do that for a while. This goes in the blue. Whoops, that's green. That goes in the blue. That goes in the natural. That goes in the green. That goes in the purple. Purple, purple, pink, green, metallic, leather. We know where leather goes. It goes in leather dash round. So let's put it in there. And chain. Look, all this chain. Chain goes in. Chain. Where did the chain box go? There it is. All right. And make these decisions quickly. You know, if you're like me, I'm easily distracted. Shocker. And so if I do it quick, I can't stop and like start to play with the things that I find. Do you do that? I am terrible. My mom and I, if we organize for about 5 minutes. And then we start doing things like making dolls. So, you know, what are you going to do, right? Here's another tray, that tray of pinks. That's a good question, Dawn. And I'll talk about this as I sort. When I did a line, I'll throw that in natural. I did a Swarovski jewelry line years and years ago. And I had to keep track of everything. And John's question is, has anyone used one of the software that track prices of parts, etc.? So what I do with that is I made myself an Excel spreadsheet. And I put in and I did it by project. So I still had things in trays because I like to, that's just the way I design best, is I kind of shop my stash. This is super irritating. I don't know where that tube of beads is, so I'm just going to kind of very carefully put it over there and maybe the tube will show up. So then I would design the piece, and then I took a photo of the piece, and I broke the piece down into the sum of its parts. And then I just did some simple formulas about there's this many beads in it, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So that's how I used Excel. I didn't use anything too pricey because also back then there probably wasn't that much to software like that was around. But that really helped. I know that for myself, I needed it for the pricing, and then I needed it also so that other people who were putting my things together, because I didn't string every single one, would know how many to use, if that makes sense. So it just depends. If you are a person who would go back and look, these go in the checkmates box. Perfect. If you're the type of person who would go back and check that on your computer, that would be a great way to work. I like spreadsheets, but I just won't go back and use them, to be perfectly honest. So that's a Matubo. That's a Matubo. So that's what worked for me, having a picture of the finished project, having it for pricing, but keeping everything that I used marked with prices so I could toss it around and get those prices and stuff that way, if that makes sense. That goes in brown. This clip goes back in the drawer. This goes in yellow. That goes in blue. This thread gets put away. All of these are this, and then this, I think, is all stuff that goes. Bam. And, I can't be afraid to throw away like little 1s and 2s of beads or little random things, or else you're going to stand there and agonize over it all day. So don't stress. I threw away like 3 red Padre beads because I didn't want to deal with them. So that's what I did. Don't judge. Yeah, sometimes I just can't keep up with, I love the idea of that software, but I just can't keep up with it. So now I've got all of these bins by color, right? So metallics, greens and yellows. So now I can continue to sort these down, but at least they are a little more, I want to put these in the blue. They're a little more accessible for me. There's some Ashanti saucers. Here's that flippin' bugle beads. Okay, so that's how I'm going to deal with these trays for now. Then I could go ahead and make some bins that had, maybe I want blue and purple and red and orange. I think that's what I want. I think that's better. Blue and purple. Red, orange, pink. There we go. I like that better. So now I could go on from here and make some bins by color, okay, if I wanted. Okay, so here, and they stack up pretty easily like this, and I can come in and revisit them. Here's another Super Duo. Let me put that away. I go for a while sometimes without organizing, so this is a good exercise, purple and blue. Okay. Let me show you, this is going to go over on the cart of stuff. This will be just a little aside, and then it's going to segue me into figuring out what beads I'm going to use for tomorrow's broadcast, because Drea is waiting for me, and I've been on here for like almost, 2 hours. That's crazy. I'm amazed that you are still with me, but thank you. Oh, here's some green. I kind of like this hanging out together. I don't know if you folks like it, but it's helping me get things done and stay focused. Green. This is blue. So I'll put them in the blue. Blue's down right there. And this is green. Okay. Nice. All right. Put them there. These little totes, I think I got these at the dollar store, is where I got them from. All right. I can't lose this in between now. I haven't really, to be honest. I'm looking these up. Or I'm opening these up for the first time. When Janice sends me her project, this is a kit that's going to launch. Janice's next kit. It's launching in a couple weeks. This is how she sends things to me. She sends them, she does a photo, and she writes this. I'm going to use this in her handout, she says. So this is notes for Claire on how to photograph it with you, or for you. And then here's for the project map, how she wants this laid out. So I save all of these notes from JP. Maybe someday I'll assemble these into something, but I've got all of her handwritten notes. She says, try it on so you can see what I mean, because you can also wear it as a bracelet. So I get these, this is how organized she is. She writes these missives about her pieces, but it's also a cool way to document your process, right? So let's unwrap this together. We're putting the kits together as we speak. So look at this, beautiful. These are pearls that I found in Tucson. The quality of these, I got them for a steal, but they are just beautiful. She's used micro Ceylon and macrameed them. And look at this button. Each kit comes with this pearl button. So this is one, and you can also just slide. This is a 50 millimeter pie disc, I think. So that's this. And then this must be that wrap. Yes, it is. Look at these biwa pearls. It's a double strand necklace, and you'll get these biwas. Look at those. I have to sort these for the kits. Janice sorted the buttons already, so each button you get will be perfect. I have to sort these biwas so each are perfect. And there's some faceted lapis cube, these strawberry quartz, these very small and beautiful cloisonne beads. So that's coming up just like, I don't know, a couple weeks, maybe less. We're putting the kits together as we speak. But so this, so I don't lose it, and Janice's notes, they're going to stay on this tray, and I'm going to put them on my to-do, my upcoming projects cart, and it's going to go right on top so I don't lose them. All right, that brings me to my project. It is lapis. They're 50 millimeter lapis pie. Janice got them specifically for this kit. I got some of the stuff in Tucson for her. We're calling this kit Beijing. It's beautiful. So for tomorrow's broadcast, let me first make sure that I'm palletting for the right thing. Let me look at our promo calendar. Bear with me. Today's the 13th, so tomorrow's the 14th. Interlace. So this was a project that I did back in the day. It's called Interlace. And it broke because I did not connect it well enough or glue it well enough. So I'm going to have to come in, and I'm just going to reattach it here by macrameing. I'm going to macrame this down. This just pulled out these threads from underneath here. They just weren't long enough for it, right? But it's easily fixed. So this is a project. I'm doing a second sample for this project. This is what I'm doing tomorrow. So I need to choose my beads, and I ordered some things, but I have to make this list. So that's what we do, how we do it. I need to list all of this out, take a spill photo for Claire, so she has that, and it'll all go up on the web tomorrow, or today for tomorrow. So let's take a look at what I got for this, what I ordered for this. Let me see if I can find it, first of all. Let me do it on this. These are the new bead boards. We have them ordered. They're going to be in closer in a few weeks, the round one and the long one. That looks nice. And this is a wrap bracelet. So let me see what I think everything is here. So I ordered a bunch of stuff, didn't I? Because that's how I have to do it now. I have to order like you folks order because I'm not here with all the stash. And I wanted to make it sunny and pretty and happy. Lynn wants a beadboard. I promise, Lynn, they're coming. They're really a nice quality, too. Emily has the round one, and she loves it. I like this rectangular one, too. So I ordered, this is 1.5 millimeter leather. I ordered this metallic pink, so not in my wheelhouse. But maybe, let me just put this here. Oh, and thank you, Terry. I will pass that along because it's really hard for us not to be in control of our product anymore once it leaves because we don't pack it, we don't look at it. So our team over at our fulfillment center really does a good job. So thank you. Terry's saying that the beadshop.com orders are packed with the most care. So thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate that. I'm going to need a disc. And I was thinking maybe of using the leopard skin jasper. Maybe. I kind of like that. I'm going to keep these bags close so I know. Then I'm going to need something like a tile, a Checkmates tile. I ordered these Milky Antique Shimmer. And when I do this, when I'm palletting on the web, when I'm trying to figure this out, what I'll do a lot of times is I'll make a wish list. I'll add what I like for the project to the wish list, and I'll name the wish list what the project is. Then I can weed it out and add them to my cart. And that's kind of a helpful tip, I think. I also have this rose quartz disc instead. Let me put both of those out. And I also grabbed, this is the Checkmates tile in Prairie, but this is green. So I'm gonna stay away from green. As much as I want to add green, I need some seed beads. So the seed beads I ordered, see, I also ordered a lapis pie. I ordered a crazy lace pie, which also would look good. Maybe that's what I want. The crazy lace and the leopard skin are pretty close. This one has a little more of a peach, but some of them can be a little more yellow. Maybe that's the best. I'm going to put those over in the bullpen over there. I needed a charm and a button. Some charms and a button. I guess I needed a charm. So I got that moon. And I grabbed some metal shadows in bright gold. Which is not usually my jam. Here are the buttons that I thought about using. I got tea leaves. This is the Mardi Gras. I got the Starburst button that matches. Maybe I want it to be matchy-matchy. And I can call it something like Summer Nights or Moonlit Garden or, I don't know, North Star or something, because also I have no idea what to name this. I also got some of the Sixth Sense little spacers. Maybe it's time to look at, I need a seed bead. In this one that I used, I only used one seed bead color, and then I used a quarter Tyler. Did I get a quarter Tyler? I thought I did. Didn't I? Yes. Here it is in here. And I needed some Ceylon in regular. So I ordered, how about we introduce some teal? Here's the quarter Tyler. Here's the teal Ceylon. Do I need one or two? I think I just need one. I also, for an ADOT, I got the cut, this dark peach lined. That's looking good. So no on this. I also got the quarter Tyler in the 14 karat gold, but I already have this in the gold, so I'm going to say no. And I like the matte opaque, but I think I like this teal better. I think I want to pop a color. I also got the distressed rose, thinking that maybe I wanted to go a little bit darker, but you know what? I'm going to go with that pink. And let me see. I don't know. Is that... Let's look at the leather color one more time. I want to know what you folks think. So there's that darker. That's distressed rose. Let me get my colors, my ADOT colors. Because I need to decide which one I'm going to use. Summer Sunset, that's a nice one. I think I use Sunset a lot, but that might not be a bad idea. I got all of these colors. This is opaque turquoise, which I like. Is that too yellow? Might be. If I go with distressed, maybe that is better. Maybe like this. What else do I have? What about... Yeah. I like that. Okay. What else am I missing? Oh, I need a Chinese knotting cord. Don't I? Do I like this yellow or do I like some... I think this yellow is what I want. And I can use this one. Let me just make sure I don't want a disc that's darker. You tell me. Do you like that one better or that one, the crazy lace? You tell me what you think. Night Song, that's a good one, Ma. I don't think we have anything called Night Song. Nice one. Here's also the faceted, the ADOTs, whoops, in that faceted sea foam. Crazy lace, dark, crazy lace. Keep weighing in. And do I need some large hold? Oh, I also need some large hold, some rollers. So I got these matte brass ones. I got, these are the thistle etched. I think that thistle etched is better. Okay, I'll use the crazy lace. I think there are more votes for that. But I'll go with the dark here. Let me see though. I think I can bring this in. These might be a little close in color. These two kind of do the same thing. Let me see. So no on all of these. No on this, no on this. Let me get rid of some of these baggies. I also have the rollers in this color, in this blue. That's better, actually, I think. Lightens things up a little bit, I think, to be honest. I'm still liking this Checkmates tile, though. I got these metal tube beads. I don't know why I did, but I did. I need something for this herringbone section. So I need to find some CKC, Chinese knotting cord, in 0.5 millimeter. Let me do that next. So let me get rid of, so I know what I'm not using. These Checkmates tiles, not using. I'm going to put them in the Checkmates box. Right? Next. Oh, thank you, Dawn. I will. I'll share that with them. Packing is great, and they arrive within a week or less. You know, we're trying. We really tried to bounce back from the deep pandemic issues that we had when it was just Chris and I going into the office and feverishly filling orders, and that was a lot. So we really appreciate that you stuck with us. Take a look at those rollers. I think this blue is better. So I'm going to put these in this bin. The discs, I'm going to store all the discs. I'm going to start another box, I think, of stuff that's current with Bead Shop. So I've got all these discs. You'll see these again. Let's do this. But, you know, with a small business, you know, we did what we had to do to get through those times. And, you know, a lot of us that are in the bead biz, it feels like we're large companies, but we're not. We're small. We're tiny. So we really appreciate it. All of your support. I'm going to just put this stuff in right here. But, you know, we rise to the challenges. We do our best. There's some leather. I got the weathered ivory that I thought was also pretty. But, I don't know. Someone's saying the pink rollers with the crazy lace. Is that better? Maybe that's better than the blue. It depends on the CKC I use. Okay, so let me put this leather. You know where that goes. Leather hyphen round. That's where this is going. Leather hyphen round. These 8/0s, I should start an 8/0 bin. These go in buttons. I still may use these, not those buttons. We've decided, right? Not that leather. I'm going to leave both of those together for just the moment. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards this, though the dark is kind of my jam, but I like what this says to me here. It's saying you better get on it and finish this project before Drea has a conniption. No, she's very, thank God. It's very patient. Whatever this pink is, that would work. I've got, this is a spring leaf. I'm going to get the CKC out. I know, maybe the red gives it a little depth, right? So that, because what I'm also looking at here is the contrast. Like I've chosen a lot of light beads here. So maybe I need the dark leather as a contrast. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Let me get the CKC out. Or as we like to call it, the Chinese knotting cord. Let me see. I've got, you want to see a bin of shame. Here it is. Again, it's not too bad. I've got geisha. This is 4mm, which I could use. Here's 5mm in geisha. Let me pull that out. I also have to make sure that we have it. This is, I don't know, fuchsia, maybe. This is 8mm golden toffee, which might be kind of weird, but good. 0.8 might be a little big. Russell. A lot of this also is ones that have been discontinued, so I really should sort this by ones that we carry versus ones that we don't carry. That actually would be helpful to me, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Here's something in that blue. This is mocha, I think. Yeah. That's all in 8s. This is also 8. There's that yellow. Russell. I don't have a lot of the 0.5. That's sea green. Let's see if we still have that on the web. Some of this CKC, like I said, has been discontinued, the colors. So it's not, I use sea green though. I used this one in the last one, so I don't want to use it again. This blue gray, it looks like I might have to use 0.8mm for the herringbone, which is okay because it's a little, it'll go faster, to be completely honest. Yeah, those are colors we don't have any longer. All right, let me see what works there. Oh, there's golden toffee in 0.5. That's one of my favorite colors, but it might not work with this. All right, let me take a look. Do I have any more Chinese knotting cord kind of hanging around? I probably need a Chinese knotting cord or two to update my threads, but let's see. Okay. We're still deciding. We're deciding on a couple of things. Let me get I still want to audition. I call this auditioning the product. I love that. This really is totally epic, right? And Rachel, I love this. Since I've been on, you've done 2 loads of laundry, paid a bill, sorted laundry, and organized a random bin of your jewelry. This makes me, Lauren, so happy. Okay, so here's this. Let's get serious about this. And keep watching. I love it. So here's this teal. I could also push it into more of the Kate colorway with this steel color. I like that. Therapy Tuesdays with Kate. We could just call this bead therapy and I would never get anything done. Well, I am getting stuff done. What am I saying? This is the blue gray, but I want a little more of a contrast. This is that kind of sagey, but I used this before on the other one. I don't want to use that. There's the mocha. Here's the fuchsia. Here's that yellow. Let me lay the beads out. There's this one. There's this or this. I'm getting rid of this right away. This is not, that's not doing it for me. Let me put this over on this side. I like that seed bead, and I don't need too many. So maybe I don't even need this blue one. And maybe I can just use that cut. And then maybe that one. Then this button, that moon charm, that's this on the other side. Mom, what did you say? Night Star? What did my mom say? That was a good one. I'll have to go. Night Song. Maybe I could call it Morning Song instead because of these lighter colors. Maybe that yellow. Maybe that. Does that teal throw it off? Is that better? Make 2 bracelets. Sue, I'm going to be lucky if I get 1 bracelet started. I'll tell you. I love this. Karen's been cooking, doing laundry, photographed finished pieces, checked in 2 packages, and put items into inventory. I love this. You're getting dinner. I love it. I love it. I love that everyone's telling me what they've done. My mom's drank 2 cups of coffee, 2 bathroom breaks, and you fed the dog. This is amazing. I love it. I love it. I want to use these, I think. Oh, and I need these quarter tilers. So maybe this. Let me double check and see if we still have this yellow. I feel like I need 1 more seed bead. I think I'm going to go with that blue. These, if I use this pink, that's what I want. So I'm going to go over to our website. Hang on a second. I'm going to go to shop. I'm going to go to, whoops, not that, components and findings. I'm going to go to fabric and fiber. No, CKC is under streaming materials. Sorry. There it is. And let me see if we've got that yellow. I'm going to shop by color. That is straw, I think, is what that color is. Straw might be a little lighter than this. Yeah, I don't think this is straw. I don't think we carry that anymore. But I think this is straw right here. And it's 0.5. Perfect. See, they're a little different. That's it. Right there. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of all the rest of this CKC. I'm still vacillating. I don't know. I mean, I've used this before, right? I use this all the time. I never use metallic pink, ever. So maybe I should. Let me put the CKC away. Where did I put the Chinese knotting cord bin of shame? Here it is. I don't know why I'm calling these bins of shame. I've got no shame. It's all right. I'm all right with that. Okay, I know people are saying I just really like the dark. I like the pink. I know. I'm going to go with the pink. That's it. I want to make sure that the that the Ceylon is the right color. Let me get my Ceylon box out. And see what I've got. Because remember, in the design, here's the piece. I used a color that really blended with the leather. So this, I think, is shell. Maybe that's better, and it lets the beads do the talking. Right? I think that's right. So it's not so much of a contrast. This would work really well with this, dark and dark. Right? Oh, my mom's saying call this one Winter Song. Good one, Ma. I'll put this, and we do this project again. I'll call this Morning Songs. What I should actually call this is Coffee with Friends. But it doesn't really look like coffee, but I've made this with all y'all. Okay, so then I check and I make sure I've got the beads that I need. So, and see, I have a little shadow here and a big shadow here, but I use the big shadows here. So I'm going to need this quarter tile, this A dot. I think I can get away with that. And maybe another. This isn't quite right here either. Right? Let me get a little tighter. Maybe I don't mind these two colors being close. Let me get the A dot bin one more time. Let me see. This is 8-2605. Where's that quarter, the other quarter tile? Let me get that white one out now. Let me get this out. There's a quarter tile. That doesn't belong with the A dots. This is, oh, the copper lined white. That's also good. Okay, let me see. Hopefully we have these in stock of some kind. I'll have to double check. Because I know it's super irritating when I use something that we're out of. But I promise to get it. Here's a super duo. That doesn't go in here. 2 super duos in this bin. Let me take them out. Put them in the super duo bin. Where'd the super duo bin go? It's right here. All right. So I have the CKC. I've got the leather. I've got the big shadows or the regular size shadows. I've got a disc. I've got a button. So I really just need to figure out the quarter tile stitch and the A dot stitch. Those are a done deal. Whoops, sorry, I'm off a little bit. Better than the purple. If I did this, I could do that quarter tile in the teal. I could ditch this blue altogether, save this blue for that, and get... That's not bad. Let me see. That's pretty with that purpley, coppery thing. That does have a little bit of, it kind of has a little bit of touch of what I like in it. Yeah, I think I'm ditching the blue. I'm going to go for a little bit of monochrome. And this. Yeah, I like the teal too, but I think I'll save that for another colorway. But when you do yours, you can throw the teal in. This is when it gets hard, right? Is that better? Maybe that is better. Heavy sigh. It's all going to look good because all these beads are so pretty. I want some contrast, so maybe there was a reason why I got this matte. And maybe keep in the blue so it's a little softer. It's not so dark. This works. This works. This works. I want to use this cut bead, but it's not quite right. I know the blue roller is real pretty with that palette. Then if I came over here, if this is what I like over here, which I think I do, this, the darker one here, that roller, that's a good start on something else, right? Yeah. Okay. I've got to make a decision. So that's a decision I'm making. Oh, and then look, I could also use the gold in there too. Maybe I use the gold. No, I have the gold in here. I'm not going to use gold. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give this to Drea. You'll see tomorrow if I stuck with my decisions. But so far, this is it right here. I do have to let this simmer for just a second. But I think that's pretty, right? Okay, well, this has been epic. This has been 2.5 hours of me organizing and choosing my project. It's 11:45 on my end, so I need some lunch. Tomorrow, stay tuned for tomorrow's broadcast. I'm going to take the spill photo, put it all together. Drea will have it up. We spent so much time together today, so you'll know when you want to make this project. You'll know what to use. But my final sip of coffee, I hope this has given you folks some ideas about organizing. So many of you have stuck with me. Thank you so much for this Therapy Tuesday with Kate. You never know when I'm going to jump on, right? So many good pieces of advice here. So thank you so much. So I'll see you folks tomorrow on our regular live broadcast. I promise I'll be showered and fixed up, or not. Who knows? Again, no shame in my bead casual game either. Have a great, productive rest of your day. Let me know what you've organized. And if you have any other organizing tips, don't hesitate to shoot them my way. Let me at least throw a banner up here or something that says to you, thank you, like, subscribe, notify, all of that. Don't forget, you can find all our stuff on beadshop.com. Email us, stay in touch, and I'll see you all on tomorrow's live. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.